Darren, about 90% of Iran's oil exports flow through Kharg Island. We've heard a lot of talk about that potentially being on the table. Do you think the U.S. needs to do something with Kharg Island, whether bomb the oil facilities or just take the island over and control the oil that is situated there?
Yeah, this is actually one of the most heated debates, I guess you could say, in military tactics circles as well as diplomacy and economics, because all of it comes together on that island. There's an argument that makes sense for taking it over physically. There's a risk that is expanded because of that, which is putting military forces on the ground in a fixed facility, fixed site that is easily targeted. If you account for all that, it could make some sense to take that over and remove a giant economic benefit to Iran. I believe you can achieve the same effect without putting boots on the ground on Kharg Island, just through the naval blockade and things like that are going on. But I wouldn't necessarily go in there and destroy the facilities on Kharg Island, because if we do get to a point where we can consider this war, victory, however you define that, the Iranian people will need these facilities to rebuild their economy, and something like Kharg Island would take a very long time to rebuild if we just destroyed it.
Yeah, I've heard that point a lot, and I think you're right. Either it's going to be a takeover or some sort of a blockade to make sure that oil's not coming out while that country is under regime control. Now, the UN is weighing in. They're accusing the Iran-backed Houthis of using a flight back from the Ayatollah's funeral for transporting Iranian National Guard troops and weapons into Yemen to conduct terror activities. Iran and their Yemen-based terrorists arm the Houthis, and they're denying this. But, Bill, your thoughts, and could they try to cut off that other strait? We know the Houthis have been firing missiles at ships for years now. They've also had the capability of hitting Israel with missile strikes. So what do you think that Houthi component does here?
Well, if I'm the IRGC, what do I want to do? I absolutely want to expand the scope of conflict. I absolutely want to threaten another vital energy shipping lane. I absolutely want to get the Houthis more involved. But let's talk about what do the Houthis rely on? Well, guess what? They rely on that revenue-generating resource from the IRGC. And what makes that IRGC generating revenue resource? It's their energy facilities. Listen, the truth is, in my opinion, in war, it's about breaking the will of your enemy. How do we break the will of the enemy? The same way William Sherman did in Atlanta. You go out exactly at the heart of it. And guess what? Kharg Island, if you destroy Kharg Island, they financially implode the next day. Trying to hold Kharg Island it's too high risk, in my opinion. I understand what the president wants to do, and it's exactly, they want to try to maintain these energy resources, one for international commercial trade, one to help the Iranian people after a post-IRGC regime. But here's the truth. The fastest way to get the IRGC regime to implode is to destroy Kharg Island, along with many other energy facilities. That's the right way. That's the way to put this in the rear view. That's the way to make that regime collapse now, not tomorrow.
Bill Brown, Darren Gobb, thanks for being here. Have a great weekend, and I'm sure we're going to learn a lot more in the coming days.
Thank you.
Thanks, Logan.